Good afternoon, happy stampers. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome you to my Happy Stamping Studio. Today we're going to be doing a fun fold Valentine card, and I'm going to be using the More Than Autumn stamp set, a couple of the Stampin' Blends, some Real Red ink, Memento ink, and I am using a retired punch. So we've got all of our pieces of cardstock and DSP here. I love this set. It has a bunch of different varieties, even though it is made for the fall and more wintry times of the year. I thought, oh my gosh, these donuts are so cute. We can make a Valentine card out of it. So I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way, and we're going to start by punching out, oh, sorry. We're going to start by punching out some hearts. So I'm going to grab some scrap paper here, which I didn't do. Got some here, and I am going to punch out 2 hearts from the basic white cardstock. And then we are going to punch out 1 from Real Red. Okay, the Real Red we're going to leave as is. And what inspired me for this card is a snowman that I actually painted and did a raffle over on my TikTok channel for celebrating getting so many viewers. So I will show that in the end of this video because I know you guys are going to say, oh, I want to see it. I want to see it. Well, I will show it to you. So we're going to take this one and we're going to take our black Stampin' Right marker and we're going to put some circles. Now, these don't have to be exact, you guys. And we're going to color them in. Okay, so this kind of creates kind of a funky-like heart, kind of a more modern type heart. Oops. A little bit bigger there. So we're just going to put these on groups of 3s that to form triangles, just like your embellishments. Go there. Now, when I did my live over there, I actually used the Darling Dino stamp set. It actually came out cute. I tried to use a circle die to begin with, and it didn't quite work out. So I ended up cutting out a rectangle like we're going to be using today. So we've got that. So now I am going to take my light, oh, did I get right? Yeah, Pretty in Pink and my light Real Red blends, and I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to create stripes across this. So we're going to have some white, some red, and some pink stripes on this. I'm just going to move this just a little bit so we create those stripes. I'm not going to close these up, which I should, because as you all know, these are alcohol based and they do dry up. Okay, now don't forget you have the white. So we've got the pink. So now we're going to do the red right against there. And then we have white. So this is going to be double the width right now. So let's put our pink here. You could draw lines if you wanted with your pencil. Oh, I got some black on there. Darn it. Let's reverse that. I got some black off my ruler. So let's get this right here, which we don't want. So we're just going to color in some stripes. Got that one. How did I do that? The red, white, then our red. Oh, I am getting lines all over this. Red's down here. Pink is here. I could probably do this without the ruler. Let me just get this one, and then we'll do the rest without the ruler. Just draw it on there. And I am using the light blend for each of them. Oh, I want the ruler. Okay, white and then pink. So I'm going to make this one a little bit wider. Get that pink line on there. Then let's go for the red. I should have used the dark red. I may go over this. This light red is actually running out of ink. Okay, so we've got that. I am going to grab my dark red and just go over those red lines. I'm going to use my brush tip. And there we go. So just going over those lines. Did everybody have a nice Christmas? Sure hope so. Make sure you say hi in the comments, you guys, so I know you're here. Okay, so we've got those. We've got a red, and we've got this polka dot one. So now we're going to get to the card. I've cut everything. I will have my measurements over on my blog, judystamps.com. I put it right here so you guys know how to spell it and everything. So I am going to go in an inch, and I'm going to make a slit. So I'm going to use this right here, and I'm going to start 1.5 inches from the top. And my piece that I need to go through this is 1 inch, or is it 2 inches? Hang on, it's 2 inches. So I'm going to go from the 1.5 to the 3.5. Okay, then I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to go over 1/4 of an inch, or actually 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to start at the 3.5 and go back to the 1.5. Okay, so that's going to form the slit that our piece is going to go through. I'm going to show you what I made over there on the other platform, as well as another card. Now I'm just going to snip this just a little bit longer so I know I have a little bit of playroom. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so here is our piece that we're going to slide through there. And got that there. You'll go get the score lines off my blog also. So this is for the inside, and I had this extra little strip which we're going to decorate the inside with. So let's start assembling this. So the first thing we want to do is we want to fold our card base on that score line, and we want to burnish that fold line. Then we're going to take a piece of basic white, and we're going to attach it to that card base. Oh, I should have gotten some more glue. I might have to grab my tape. No, there we go. Okay, we're going to adhere this down. Okay, kind of a crazy time over there last night. Okay, so now this is going to be sliding through here. Okay, so it's plenty big enough. So we're going to put dimensionals on here, but we don't want to put dimensionals where that needs to slide. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals here, and we're going to add them around the edge, and we're going to add 2 right in the middle. So let's get these on. I like to put the flat edge along where it's going to be sliding. Okay, now you could have used either side here. It doesn't matter which side of your designer series paper you use, but we want to make sure that we put enough dimensionals around the edge and on this so it does stick up. You're probably thinking, well, that was kind of close, Judy, but that's okay. You know, we want enough on there. Once again, I'm going to put this here just to help guide that in there. Okay, so, yep, I am going to go ahead and do this. Now, I am also going to cut just punch a half a circle so that we can grab that end. If you want, you could make your entire card about a 1/4 inch smaller than you normally do so that that tab hangs out. I'm just grabbing a hole punch here, oops, or circle punch. Doesn't matter what size, but I'm going to put it so it just goes about not even a half an inch. I just want to be able to grab that piece. Okay, this is going to go on next, centering it on that layer. Next, we need to put this in here. So we're just going to slide that right in. You've got 2 score lines that are a half inch apart. You want to hold it so it's on this one. I'm sorry, on the farthest one in so that when you close this, come on, got to get this in here straight. Oh, I may have put that a little bit too close. No, I'm just putting it in crooked. Get it in there. There we go. Okay. Because we want to be able to pull this and have it slide under and stop at that. Okay. So that is on there. So now let's get our other pieces. And we are going to stamp on the front, love you more than. And I'm going to stamp that in the memento. Okay, now I am going to take those 3 little hearts that we just did, and we're going to put them on here. Okay, so you could put them on however you want. Let's do this. Okay, so let's glue those on now that we know about where we want them. This one here. Now you could stamp that at either the top or the bottom. Your words, it's totally up to you. And I would not put these on dimensionals, you guys, just because your card is going to be dimensionals anyways, because it pulls. So you're going to have, you have an extra couple layers in there. So if you're going to mail this, you want to make sure that you don't put dimensionals on the front. So this is going to be the front. This is going to be the next layer that opens up to. And we are going to put the word donuts. Who loves donuts? Who doesn't love donuts? Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm going to stamp the donut in the real red. Okay, and since it says donuts, we're going to put 2 on here. Okay, then we're going to take our Stampin' Blend and we're going to color this. We're going to use the dark and the light. Go ahead and color this in. Now I will go over it a second time to make some spots a little bit darker, and you're going to notice I've got some white spots in there, and that is on purpose. We want dimension on this. I'm going to use the brush tip on this side. It'll go a lot quicker. Once again, just color that in. Now, if you wanted this to be glossy, you could either emboss over it, or you could take your fine tip glue pen and you could go over it and let it dry. So I'm just going around the edges in a circular motion. Okay, just creating a little bit of dimension there. And how we're getting that is because we're going over it a second time. Oh, that's a lot darker. I think I probably picked up some other color. So let's move that out a little bit. So just by rubbing that out, we're going to move that color. Okay, now I'm going to take the red and go around the outside of this one. The other one will leave white. It's going to be a white donut. Here we go. This is going to go onto this piece. Now this next step is important. Oh, you could add glitter to these. How fun would that be? I didn't grab any glitter. I should have, huh? So we want this to attach here. Okay, but we don't want this end to attach because we need this to be able to move. Okay, so we're going to set this one where we want it to go. But we have to keep in mind this one is going to be adhered. Oh, this is too tight. Let me get my spatula out. There we go. This one here is going to be attached into that space between those two score lines. Okay, so we want to get that on there. Have it go on there straight, right along there. Okay, so we've got that. So we next want to pull this in so it's within the width of the card. Okay, we're just going to hold this with our finger. I want you to test this before you do anything. So we're just going to hold that inside with our finger. And this piece is moving because it's not dry. And I'm going to pick this up and pull it. Okay, and it works. Okay, so we're going to push it back again. Okay, and we want this so it's kind of centered. Okay, we have a little bit, you want to look at these lines here. So you want it centered in there. So almost this whole half a circle is actually open. Okay, so we need to glue this down. We need to glue this down. We want this to fit all the way against there so that it doesn't stick out this side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some adhesive to this and a little bit to the bottom side. What that's going to do is we're going to put this in here, and my measurements are so that if you put it against that score line, it's going to be just about perfect, you guys. Get this on here and we're going to push it down. Okay, so what's going to happen is, you know what I'm going to do? before we get too much farther, I'm actually going to put another half a punch in this side. I think this will help open that up. The one I have been making before, I make the card actually a little bit smaller, and I know some people were having issues with that. So let's get this back pulled in here. There we go. Yeah, it wants to flip and flap already. You see that? Okay, I'm going to put this here. And just hold that a minute. Okay, we want that to dry. Let me see, let me get some rhinestones here. I think we need some glamour here. Let me see what I have. We've got some rhinestones. Got some old rhinestones still. I was cleaning the other day and I actually found these. It was like, oh my gosh. So we are just going to put one of these right up here. Just for a little shine. I don't want much because this is kind of not elegant. It's more fun. Okay. So now watch what happens when we pull this. Oh my gosh. Do you guys see what I did? I put that on upside down. Oh my gosh. Well, that's not coming off. This one will come off. So let's switch this around. Whoop, boop. Well, that was a good catch, huh? How many of you are laughing right now? I tell you guys. Kind of crazy, huh? Okay, we're going to pull that back down. Make sure we have it lined up. I don't want to move this too much. There we go. Okay, I got a little bit of adhesive down here messing with that. Okay, so we still have the inside, so let's get that on while that's drying. Now I'm going to wait to stamp this because it depends on who I'm giving it to, on what I want it to say on the inside. If I want it to be mushy for my hubby, I will put something mushy in there. If I want something fun for a friend or perhaps one of my grandkids, I can put that in there. Okay, this is, once again, this was just left over from what I trimmed off that front piece. Okay, so let's see if this is dry enough. It's going to open up like that, and then we're going to close it. Oops, it's catching. Okay, now I promised you to show you the other two cards that I have. One of them you guys may recognize. Oh, I don't have, oh yes, I do. You may recognize if you've been with me for a while. I did it quite a while ago. This is the one I did over on my other platform, Roar. And then Love You on the inside, which would be for my grandchild. And then this one was the turtle one. And like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Love you more than donuts. How cute is that? And then I will customize the inside. I want to thank you guys all for watching today and joining me in. Thank you for your comments. And until we meet again, everyone.